Hey everyone, welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and more. Tonight, I want to take a little bit of a break from all the Portia news. I think we've covered everything, but we will go live again at some point to cover all of the hot topics from the week. Shout out to everyone that's already in the chat. Shout out to all the moderators, the Kempire crew that's in the building. Thank you guys again for a fantastic birthday live that we did yesterday where we talked about all of the hot topics. If you missed that, be sure to check out the Kempire Daily YouTube channel for links and everything like that. I'm gonna just post this. The Queen says Kempire is 4 minutes late to class. I am a stickler for time. But, behind the scenes, when you're producing your own stuff or you're having meetings, and look, guess who just joined Cameo? Yeah, we'll post the links so you guys can ask for a cameo. If you're looking for a birthday video or if you want exclusive tea before it comes on any of the other platforms, be sure to sign up for my Cameo. Or you can just search me, TheKempire, on Cameo. Look, everyone's like, no Portia news. Please, no Portia news. I know. I want to take a break tonight. But trust and believe we will get back to it. I already reported on the other woman. It is what it is. So tonight I want to talk about the Real Housewives of Dallas reunion and do a recap of the Real Housewives of New York. I'm going to post the link in the chat for those that want to call in and share their thoughts on this wonderful, fantastic. I love New York. I know a lot of people are on the fence about these first 2 episodes, but I truly enjoy New York. And I think Ebony is actually a solid housewife. She's a solid housewife, even though she's not a wife. I'm okay with that. Can we just get rid of Leah? We need to bring some housewives on the show. I'm just going to say that. That's the one good thing about Dallas, even though Dallas probably is the lowest rated of all the cities. But I'm loyal to Dallas because I feel like there's potential. And I have to say, in the reunion was pretty entertaining. Probably a little bit more entertaining than the entire season, but the season wasn't bad. If you compare it to like the Real Housewives of Atlanta, was it better than Atlanta? Not necessarily, because Atlanta picked up towards the end, but overall consistency, overall following the formula that makes the Real Housewives what it is, then Dallas is classic housewives, married housewives. Just saying. But shout out to I just want to give a shout out to everyone in the chat. I see you guys. Shout out to my moderators. For those that are watching the video, like the video if you haven't already. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe. And for more information on how you can support the channel or follow me on social media, will be available in the description of this video. For those that are watching afterwards, be sure to let me know your thoughts on the Real Housewives of Dallas reunion and the first 2 episodes of the Real Housewives of New York. So let's just jump right on into Dallas, because I know a few people that are on the line that actually do watch Dallas, and I want to kind of go do an overview of the season, because that's exactly what they do on the Real Housewives reunion shows. So let's get into it. Danielle changed her picture already.
Because it's summertime. It's a hot girl summer. Hot girl summer.
Hey.
Oh my God. You got your hot girl summer picture up?
Hot girl summer. Hot girl summer.
I can't.
That's me when I was nice and tan. I gotta get tanned again. I'm winter white right now. I gotta get tanned again.
A mess. First of all, let me just read Miriam's name. Elevate and make it nice. Really? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I am trying to just like
you're like a mix between Leah and Dorinda.
Oh no, but I like that line though. I
elevate that. That's because look. We'll get into New York.
I'm not saying it's true.
We'll get into New York, and let's remind me to talk about that little line that you said last season. Let's focus on the Real Housewives of Dallas. I'm going to ask Danielle. What were your impressions of part 1 and part 2 of the Dallas reunion?
Okay.
Uh-oh. You had to take a breath.
I did, because I love Dallas. To your point, Dallas gives what Housewives is supposed to give. You have rich women who have married wealthy men who are stay-at-home moms who live in these extravagant houses, who all they do is shop, lunch, brunch, and be cute and da 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 da. So I love Dallas. I know everyone thinks that Dallas is a snore, but Dallas gives what Housewives originally started in the OC, and they're doing it now in Dallas, what it's supposed to give.
I agree with you. And before you continue, the only thing that I wish that they had a better situation of was probably more interesting housewives. Like Stephanie, to me, is actually interesting, but there's nothing really going on in her life.
I think so with Stephanie, she is like the epitome housewife. But originally what was going on was the issues with her and her husband, how controlling he was, and how he didn't listen to her, and she was almost like his little lap dog.
Oh, here we go with the lap dog conversations.
She was his lap, but she kind of talked about that. That used to be her storyline. She was like, "Oh, I feel like what's his name? Travis. He doesn't listen to me." And like when he bought the house that had the pool and the foyer,
which they live in right now.
That they live in, but she was so disgusted. She was like, "No, we need to talk about this." And he was like, "Yeah, right. I'm buying this house because this is what I want." So he comes off as having like the little man complex to me, or maybe little wee wee complex, and that's why he treats her like that. But to your point, she doesn't have a storyline. But I like how she's starting to speak up more and stand up to the ladies and voice her opinion about stuff, because they're always like, "Oh, Stephanie, you're so Switzerland, you're so Switzerland." She's like, "No, I'm not this. I don't like this." So, and then I also feel like the relationship with her and Brandy, because Brandy gets so much flack about being a racist and being this and being that not that Stephanie kind of pulled away from Brandy, but she kind of did have to separate herself a little bit so that she wouldn't be taken down with the Brandy slander. Personally,
it's kind of smart though, especially if Brandy doesn't come back next season, so she's not sort of like subjugated to just one friend.
Yes, because they always said, "Well, you never want to do anything unless you have Brandy." She was like, "No, that's not true." Because I remember last season, was it, where Cameron was kind of being really nasty towards Stephanie because she felt Stephanie said that she felt she and Cameron had a surface friendship.
Yes.
Cameron got very offended by that, which I didn't understand, because it's not like she said she didn't have a friendship with you. It was surface level, and she wanted to dig deeper and get to know Cameron. But Cameron's an airhead idiot, and
there's no deeper getting to Cameron.
Not unless you want to stick your head in the sand. That's the only way you can get to know Cameron better, because she's just like, even to her first season when she wanted to make pink sparkly dog food, I'm like, what dog wants to eat pink sparkly food? And can dogs even see color? How do they even know?
Nope.
Oh my goodness. Like I could go on for not days with the Dallas because they don't give me that much, but that's the question.
But that's interesting that you say there's no depth to Cameron. The FemTower and I did a special video where we did a reading for all of the ladies of the Real Housewives of Dallas. Oh. Everyone should check that out. That was released earlier today. Check that out, because it's interesting, because I think there is more to Cameron, but she's being very controlling in regards to what she shows in regards to her life.
You know why? Because she believes that Dallas society is going to condemn her, yada, yada, just like when they went over to Thailand and she didn't want to be with the pogo balls and all the other stuff in her face. But Deandra Simmons made a very good point. Deandra was like, Dallas high society is not thinking about what you do over here in Thailand, and trust and believe, I'm sure these women, those high society women, have had balls in their face when they come to Thailand. And Cameron's like, oh, don't talk like Cameron just needs to take the stick out of her ass, honestly. Like, she is so freaking annoying. I love all her pink, because that's my go-to color too. But it's very annoying. Like, I'm just like, oh my girl, she reminds me of, I can't say Legally Blonde, but she does remind me of a sorority girl, like a clueless sorority girl. She's just annoying. And then how she played victim this year on the reunion was, oh my goodness, was a snooze fest.
Can we talk about that? Because that to me was probably the largest part of the beginning of part 1 and part 2 of the reunion. And when you talk about the racism, it was directly involving Dr. Tiffany Moon.
And I didn't understand how Cameron was trying to justify how Dr. Tiffany was being racist against her own people. Is that even possible?
In Cameron's eyes, because she was dead set on it.
And then she tried to pull out receipts. She tried to pull a Monique and come with a notebook that didn't have a book and just a bunch of notes.
Well, she remember she had the little pink suitcase.
That crap again, Legally Blonde all over again. And I love me some Blair Woods, so I'm not going to even offend her like that by comparing Cameron to her, because Cameron's a joke. She really she tried it. She's a joke.
But in defense of Cameron, some of those receipts that you brought out did sort of kind of throw Dr. Tiffany Moon under the bus.
But Dr. Tiffany Moon came back with a rebuttal for everything.
Not with those text messages, but I reached out to you.
Yeah, now that was the only one. You're absolutely right. The only one. But by that point, Cameron already looks to, because listen. Now I will say, Tiffany kind of got me because she was like, "Oh, I've never had girlfriends. I never had this. I just want people to like me." But she came with the jokes. How can you say you never had girlfriends, but you know how to come with the snapback jokes? When
like
she
this one, Naomi posted. Tiffany said, "I didn't know giraffes could hula hoop."
Yes. Like, you don't get that from that. Like, you don't have that quick snapback if you don't have a girlfriend.
Yeah, it's true.
And when she posted the thing about her grammar school on Twitter, that was hilarious.
See, can we talk a little bit about that too? I know we're jumping around, but look, I love Dr. Tiffany Moon, but I have seen her behavior on social media, which can come across a little mean girl, a little bit. Okay, go ahead, Miriam. Miriam, why can't I hear you? Wait, let me take you out and then come back. Testing? No. That's so strange. Call me back. Call back.
Okay, so let me say something then.
Yes.
Oh shucks, what was I going to say? It was about Dr. Tiffany.
On social media being a mean girl?
So I didn't find it to be a mean girl. I found it to be funny.
I'm being dramatic when I say mean girl, but it is, I don't know. There's something about the way that she interacts on social media, although a lot of times it's funny, but in regards to her other castmates, I can see where they might be a little like, really, girl?
Prime example, when Cameron tried to talk about her imitating her mom, Tiffany imitating her mom. What was racist about that? That was her experience of her mother throwing a shoe upside her head.
Yeah.
I found it to be very funny.
I agree. With that particular instance, I agree. But there were some shady tweets that she's posted about other castmates. And I'm just sort of like, I like Dr. Tiffany. I still want her to come back. And I appreciate the shade because we love a shady housewife. But I can see where the other people would feel a little uncomfortable. Because he said it in part 2, she was sort of like, oh, she did those things to get a reaction out of us. And that's part of our job, to give a reaction.
Well, can I speak?
Yes.
I'm making it nice now. Okay, see, I took out the elevate.
Yeah, because we're not there yet.
Yeah, we're not there yet. Listen, isn't this what she's supposed to do, to get a reaction? But then again, this is what they all do. This is what they all do. I agree. I don't want to be boring. I agree with everything Diana said about that Dallas is the only franchise that stuck to the original formula of the show. Period. End of story. Mm-hmm. But at the reunion, oh my God, I could smell from my house the white privilege.
Oh, wow.
I feel like, remember today I told you like I was the D&I rep?
Yes.
The good way and bad way. So in Dallas, they were trying to overcompensate, but when it was time for them to speak on it, they all chose to stay silent. And then after the fact, they were all doing damage control, all of them, even Deandra, which I believe her tears, because she should feel guilty, really.
She's really friends with Dr.
Because
Tiffany
she's at least she brought her, and she didn't try to take her husband from her. Let's say she's that kind of better friend than others.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Anyways, so they all were doing damage control yesterday, and to be honest with you, whatever Tiffany did, at least came out funny and petty sometimes. And her posts on TikTok, they are produced by her stepdaughter.
Oh, I forgot about her stepdaughter, the one she locked out of the room, the closet.
Yeah. She's the one. Yeah, exactly. She's the one that does everything for her, times everything, puts they everything. They record everything once a week, and then they drip, drip in the post.
Here you go with the
She's very
drip.
smart.
Oh, the holy drip.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys, though. I have a question.
Yes, Danielle.
We're all virtual friends. Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Don't you
I hope
make that?
so.
I thought we were real friends. Okay. Fine.
We don't.
Look,
Listen, do I need a tissue? Are you gonna make me cry, Danielle?
So no, remember when Cameron tried to say that when Tiffany corrects her English or her grammar more so, and it's more not even grammar, it's really vocabulary she's checking. As a friend, is Tiffany wrong for checking Cameron's vocabulary if she's using words in the wrong context?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. And I totally understand, because I have a girlfriend that can't stand that I do that. And I also do it when it comes to text messages. I am very particular when you don't use the right your and your and you are. If you don't use it right to versus TOO. And I will.
Thanks for the warning.
It's not even about warnings. My thing is this. My girlfriends the people that I check have high positions at work. I don't want you sending that in an email at work, because I don't want you to look.
Yeah, definitely not at work.
Right. So then everyone's rebuttal is, well, I wouldn't do it at work. But if you didn't do it at work, well, why are you doing it on a text message?
Because they're lazy.
That's not lazy. That's literally how your brain thinks. Your brain thought that it was okay to put TO as opposed to TO.
Why are we here? Why are we here?
Yeah, but Cameron is not being lazy. She's dumb.
She's just right. She's a flamingo with her head in the sand, or a giraffe.
I don't think Cameron is as dumb as she seems. I think she's dumb in a lot of ways, especially when it comes to certain words.
Yes, that's my point. She plays dumb so much that it conflicts with her not knowing the meaning of words. Like when she called Tiffany on being two-faced. Tiffany corrected her. She said, no, the word here for you to use is contradictory. To-face means I'm talking behind your back, but you're pointing out that my changed completely. So you mean I'm being contradictory. And she took offense to that. She goes on the bandwagon that, okay, yeah, court. Oh, but I want to be part of it. And then, like, how can we blame her husband from doing that? I can't. And I know for women, but she's not the smartest tool in the shed. And I feel like she took to heart to be the one attacking Tiffany. I feel like they are all very intimidated by Tiffany, because she has money and she has brains and she has a diploma. She's a wealth of knowledge. She still does research and she writes thesis. She's actively writing. And I feel like they are all, they're all intimidated by her.
Mama D knew for Deandra to bring Tiffany on that show was going to be a threat to the other ladies. Mama D knew that.
Yes.
She called Andy on his personal number and said, come down here.
I'm here for it.
Can we say Tiffany elevated the shit of Dallas?
Now that would be true.
That's true.
That would be true. Dr. We can all agree on that. I want to bring Naomi, because I know Naomi had some funny things to say. Naomi, thoughts on the Dallas season and reunion?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with Miriam. Like, I was sensing like privileged air off of Cameron. I feel like she was upset that like she was being corrected by an immigrant. Like, that's why she was so pressed about it.
Oh,
that's a good point.
She was worried about her image. She was like so pressed to even bring that up, to be like, you were correcting me, like you needed to be corrected.
I'm having the chills, Naomi.
That's a very good point.
That was deep, Naomi. That was truly deep.
Those were the vibes. Those were the vibes. I watched your Femme Tarot cards or video today with her doing the cards, and I'm like, hey, I need to buy some of these cards because they're like so on point, and like I'd be getting feelings too.
Oh my God. Everyone needs, I'm just going to remind everyone, if you've missed out on Femme Tarot reading the Ladies of Dallas, you need to check that out. Also, Femme Tarot released a new collaboration that I did with her in regards to Prince Harry and Prince William and their relationship. What's been going on, what's currently going on, and what will be happening in the future. So check that out on her channel.
The discount code, the Kempire discount code.
And as a reminder, just for the month of May, you can get a reading with Femme Tarot for 15% off. Limited time. You have to mention my name in order to get the discount. Just saying. Okay. I want to jump off of because look, I think we all agree that Cameron has white privilege, doesn't get the point of racism, but I also get why she was so very much like, who was it that was, Sharon Osbourne, that got really upset, with with someone alluding to that she might be racist. I think that's what Cameron was responding to, especially all of the fans' feedback.
Is that your defense to her? That's bad.
Oh, I'm not defending her. I'm just saying this is what I think why she was so defensive.
And you are right. And the more she was defending herself, the more racist she looked and sounded. Privileged. Okay. Let's say allegedly privileged.
But it's not alleged because she has white privilege and she showed it. I mean, you saying that was right, hitting the nail on the head. It's totally white privilege. But you will never admit to that, just like most white people don't.
Yeah, they don't.
Well, I want to talk, I think we can move on from that part of the reunion, but I do want to talk a little bit about Deandra, because I feel like Deandra is the one really carrying this season because there's just so much drama going on within her family. And we all love Mama D. But during the reunion, it was revealed that her biological father actually had more money than her stepdaddy, Mr. Simmons.
That was a bombshell.
Lonnie's in the house. What's going on, Lonnie?
Hi, how are you guys? Hi, everyone.
Lonnie, you watched Real Housewives of Dallas?
I did. I watched it this afternoon. The second part of the reunion.
Oh.
How far did you guys talk about? I just got in, so I'm glad I made it in time.
We just covered the whole feud between Cameron and Dr. Tiffany Moon, but it looks like by the end of the reunion, they make peace with each other. So we've moved on. Now we want to talk about Deandra and her family. There's a lot of Deandra is loaded.
Yeah, it seems, I mean, how loaded she is, I'm kind of curious because Andy was like, like 20 million, 30 million, 40 million, 50 million.
But she's classic money. Real money doesn't talk about money like that.
Yeah. And, it was an interesting point. I don't know if we'll ever really know, like, why, if that was the case. And it seems like her biological father was a very influential person in the Dallas scene. Mm-hmm. Why did she take Simmons then if her biological father also had that same kind of elevated, level in Dallas society?
Well, according to Deandra, she said it was because he would lay with me when I was sick when I was a younger kid. Femme Tarot says a whole other story, but we won't get into it. Y'all can watch that video.
I think it's because Simmons is more famous and opens more doors, although the real money is in the
That's
other
what Mama D said.
Right.
I believe her.
Well, so that's initially I thought Mama D might have had a point, but when Deandra was saying that her biological had more money, like that means his name had clout too.
Yes. So that was. I don't think we will ever truly know. I like Miriam want to believe Mama D.
Well, I will say this from personal experience. As a child, I grew up with a stepfather. My stepfather married my mom when I was like 4. Not that my biological father wasn't there, but he was there on the weekend. So I took on my stepfather's name. And it was because, to Deandra's point, he was there when I was sick. When I first started my cycle, he took me to go get passed because my mom was out of town. Like, he was there.
Damn.
Even when my biological father died, my mom was out of town again. And my stepdad was like, let me know what you want me to do. I'll take you to your family's house, like my biological father's side's house. and I'll stay with you if you want me to stay. Like, that's what men do. Men, they man up. And it sounds like that's what Simmons did for Deandra. He manned up and he took care of her because she was a little girl who in the same household with the father, and he just took that fatherly role on. So I'm a little biased. I'm kind of on the fence. I don't know what to believe because either way, she had money.
I think both are true.
This is true, but I want to call BS just because, like I said, we did the reading with Femtaro, and based on what Femtaro was saying, there was no real relationship between, at least not that really close relationship that Deandra was trying to make us believe on this reunion. So I don't know if I really believe Deandra. Deandra was saying all the things that we needed to hear in this reunion.
I think there's truth to both. There's truth to both, but Simmons is a household name. They can know, like, people can be rich but not famous, you know. Simmons, they have bridges in that name, hospitals, roads. This is why everybody thinks like changing your last name to Simmons opens more doors, which makes sense. But then again, they are not mutually exclusive, maybe for both sides. This opens more doors, and that dad was more there for me than my own biological father. So
let me ask you, based on white privilege, did she do anything wrong? If it was because of the Simmons name being more famous or being well known, thinking about white privilege, did she do anything wrong?
This is, I think, a blurry line. I'm not justifying her, just because I feel like she was mainly being opportunistic there, because I think both of her parents are the same race. This is why I'm saying, okay, she didn't jump from a brown family.
No. When I mean white privilege, I mean that's what they're known to do. They want to have the higher up. So basically, because remember when Kris Jenner wanted to change her name back to Kris Kardashian because at the time the girls had made it more recognizable?
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I think it is white privilege. Everything about Dallas is white privilege. Everything. There's not like a single ounce of humbleness there, or like they are all very much privileged to the point that they are of. And why do I say white privilege? Because other than what's her name, Brandy, nobody portrayed questionable behavior. And Brandy and Cameron, like the way she was attacking Tiffany, I felt like that was borderline, a little bit of racist in their seasoning. But for most of the part, they are really white privilege and oblivious. This is the life that they have. And what's her name? She also came up with marrying Travis, Stephanie. She was from Oklahoma. And she likes butt
Right, but remember they met in college. So I think that was a little different because she met Travis in college.
Yeah, but Travis had money then too.
Did he have money? I don't know.
Well, because isn't this a family business, the locker business? Isn't it a family business? But with that being said, he made the business even more lucrative than his father had.
Yes, okay. You're right.
Rob says this: online estimates Deandra's net worth at $4 million, and this is just a reminder that these online estimates are incorrect. I believe Deandra when she says she's worth. Well, she doesn't say what she's worth, but what she said her father was worth. She definitely is worth a lot more than what they're saying online.
Remember when she said, "I don't need to marry rich. This is why I married the one I love."
No. And that's the side of Deandra that I truly enjoy. But after a while of these housewives being on these shows, they start to get a little bit more scripted. I want to move on, just for the sake of time and the sake of our interest, because look, Dallas was good, but it wasn't that good.
It was a snooze. Can we rate the reunions?
Sure, go ahead, rate it. What would you rate it?
For me, it was a 5, and I'm being generous because Ramadan just ended and it's Eid Mubarak. I'm being generous.
Some of the other things, just to kind of sum up the whole Deandra situation, she showed remorse for the way she acted towards her mother on the show. I felt like that was heartfelt. And in regards to her money, like I said, we found out that her biological father was worth more, allegedly. And apparently all that money's from oil and gas. I was like, all right. And then the other thing that wasn't very clear on the show during the season was, did she give a portion of the inheritance to the brother. And she confirmed in the reunion that she gave him half, and then he tried to sell a portion, and she bought that portion from him.
Smart.
And I was like, there is a smart businesswoman in that Deandra.
She doesn't need her mom's company. What was she thinking?
Well, she probably wanted something to do.
And
Her
she needed to keep
husband?
that legacy going.
Her husband, he's cute.
Clean her house. Her house is a mess.
Let's talk about Brandy Redmond.
Ooh.
So there was a lot. First, I'm going to start off with the really sad news. You know, we all saw in the news that her mother-in-law passed away after that car accident, and her daughter was in the car and somehow was able to walk away from it. That was real. I was like, even watching Stephanie, this is why I love Stephanie and their relationship, because you could see that's her real friend, because all of the situations that Brandy went through over the last year, I mean, the Twitter backlash, the affair rumors, and then this, you know, this horrific accident. She did go through a lot. What were your thoughts, Lonnie, on Brandy's ups and downs this season?
You know, as you can tell, like, I mean, she really went through it this year. I thought that was like so awful, like what happened. And you can totally see in Stephanie, like her face just looks so broken. Like you can see, you really saw like how close, like everything that Brandy was feeling, Stephanie felt it too. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
You can really see that.
I feel like she felt it more.
Yeah. I found it interesting though. You know, through it, I mean, she addressed the whole, because that was a big thing, you know, about the cheating scandal and everything like that, because people were wondering, like, is she raising the love child and, you know, things like that. And I find it interesting that they all went to blaming LeeAnne about like sending the video to her daughter, whose Instagram or whatever social media it was, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like the child had a private page.
Yes.
And it still got in there like DMs. I don't know how that works. Like if you can still send DMs to someone who has a private page on Instagram. Okay.
You can send, it comes as a request. When you accept the request, you see, I can totally see the child being curious and accepting the message just to see what it is.
Yeah, that I found that to be like interesting, because it seemed like, you know, Deandra was like shaking her head like, you know, like it was LeeAnne. So I don't know.
Not LeeAnne, LeeAnne.
LeeAnne.
LeeAnne Locken. I miss her still.
I do. I like LeeAnne, but I'm interested if she will make like a statement.
She did.
Oh, she did. What did she say?
Let's talk about it.
See, I'm not even on social media. I missed this.
So she did come on Twitter, and she didn't really make a statement. Miriam, I need you to do me a favor. You have to mute your mic when someone else is speaking, because when we play this back, people can't hear when someone is speaking if two people are speaking at the same time. Thank you. So she did post a statement on social media, and it was just a song about people talking about her and her dancing. And look, LeeAnne, I wouldn't mind LeeAnne coming back. I know she made some mistakes in regards to her relationship with Carrie and in the horrific racist things that she was saying about Carrie. But shouldn't she, I mean, at this point, based on this whole rumor of her sending this to Brandy's child, she's not coming back, so I'm going to let that go. But honestly, I feel like Brandy really changed the story. Instead of really addressing your husband cheated on you back in 2018, you confirmed this. It was at a bachelor party, and you really, instead of addressing that, you immediately went to blame LeeAnne, even though you don't have any hard proof that LeeAnne's the one that sent it. Look, even if she did send it, your husband still cheated on you. That's who you should be upset with.
That part.
Yep, that part, exactly. And she didn't. I mean, she really did take a left turn on it. Didn't talk about who the woman was. Didn't talk about what her and her husband discussion was when this came out or anything like that. I feel really, really sad about it because it went to her daughter. You know what I mean? I think like, I don't know. Part of me thinks like LeeAnne would just send it to TMZ or something like that to kind of embarrass her, not a child. I would like to think LeeAnne would not do something that cruel, because at the end of the day, you never want to put a negative connotation of a child's father in their head for them to see, you know what I mean? Like that's her dad. You always want that child to look at her dad as number one, you know, and they're still little. So
that part about it, it's sort of like, how do you even know? They didn't provide any sort of solid proof at this reunion. Oh, it's LeeAnne. How do you know it was LeeAnne? It could have been anyone.
It could have. I was waiting for someone to bring out like a version of Monique's booklet binder out with proof and receipts.
I mean, then I would have respected it. Miriam?
LeeAnne, she came on YouTube. I don't know whose channel, but she provided text messages between her and Brandy that we were talking about it. And LeeAnne was talking to Brandy, say, I can't believe they did that to your daughter. But again, like you said, she is deflecting. I would be mad at my husband that he put the whole family in that situation. I feel like this is where they're all ganged up again on LeeAnne's ghost now because she's not present and they couldn't pull a chair for her like they did. That was ridiculous what they did to her at that time because they're all privileged and they all use the same terms. And she used
exactly what Give Me Shelter just said. I just want to read the comment real quick because you're saying this. If they can justify keeping any of these women, then LeeAnne can come back. She's in good company.
Well, here's the thing. The reason why Brandy deflects is because Brandy's used to him cheating. If you guys remember, like season 1, season 2, he was never really around. He was always on these business trips for some reason. She was always, oh, woe is me. I have these kids. I'm so tired, yada, yada, yada. So that was always suspicious to me that he was, I think like season 1, we may have saw him 4 or 5 times. In season 2, we saw him like 2 or 3 times. It seemed like as the seasons go on, the further we lose him.
We saw what, twice this season?
Right. Like he's not around. So that always made me think that he was out there cheating. And it's sad to say that. And then when that video came out, because I always pictured in my head, he's cheating with the total opposite of what she is. He's not cheating with another ginger. He's cheating with the complete opposite. And when that video came out, it just made me feel like, okay, everything you thought, Danielle, was totally true.
And then, like I said, and like I was saying, in regards to addressing it on the reunion, she really deflected a lot instead of really saying, you know, she kept on saying, she defended him pretty much. He's been through a lot. He's been such a big support to me during time. Yes, that's well and good. But did you guys address the fact that he cheated on you?
She addressed it with him because she's used to it. It's not his first time. That's what it's almost like she has she's immune to it at this point.
Yeah, she just had another baby with him.
Yeah. Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, Lonnie.
And also too, I mean, she's definitely used to it and she knows like what he does, but I think it's the fact that it was so thrown out there and she was completely embarrassed in the fact that it went to her child. And if you look at Brandy's face when Carrie was talking about and announced that she was getting a divorce and was talking about it, it almost like just Brandy's facial expression, it almost made her seem like she was looking in the mirror like this is going to be me soon.
Yep.
To me, her facial expression, it almost looked like she saw a ghost to me.
I agree.
Sidebar. What was up with Carrie and Brandy's lighting? Like, I know you guys are in a remote. Why couldn't they light you better?
I know, like a ring light or something like that. They look like they were just like dressed like they just came back from running an errand.
Go ahead, Miriam.
Can I say? Oh my God, guys, you're not mentioning the elephant in the room here.
What's the elephant?
Do you really believe that adorable baby was in Brandy's belly? Has any one of us seen her pictures pregnant with the surprise pregnancy? And she drank like there was no tomorrow. You saw pictures of her pregnant?
You could see it in her face. She towards the end of the season, her face was very full and pregnant.
Yeah, she didn't even know.
I think her face was like that because I'm sure because of her mental health, she was taking therapy. I'm sure she was taking some medicine. And when you do medicine and you drink alcohol like that, you look somehow like that. Honestly, I didn't see her glowing. Usually women, when they're pregnant, they glow.
Not everyone, though.
Yeah, not everyone.
I
No,
know, but these women, but they have glam squads. These women, they're not regular women.
But what are you speculating? What are you
it's so
speculating?
easy
You're
for them to
speculating
blow.
she wasn't pregnant?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm speculating this is a child of his mistress.
And now you want to put that on another baby?
Again.
I don't know what Miriam is saying, but as far as Glam Squad, you got to remember that Brandy's husband doesn't make as much money as the other husbands. They're not as well. Brandy is not as wealthy as the other ladies.
And they have to pay for their Glam Squad.
They make money for makeup.
Wait. Okay, go ahead, Lonnie.
I was just gonna say they have to pay for their own Glam Squad, so it's not like she has a boatload of money to spend out for a full-time Glam Squad for hair, makeup, and wardrobe.
You could tell. Just say.
Yeah,
Let's
but
move on.
I didn't see her pregnant. I didn't see her belly.
Again, Miriam, please mute your mic, please.
There's a delay. I'm sorry. You think I'm over? When I'm talking, I'm not hearing you.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna take you out, restart, and call back in because I don't want it because it just the feedback when people are watching this later. We have to remember people watch this afterwards, and we need to make sure that they're able to hear everyone. It's just not going to work if we're talking over each other. Everyone, 60 people in the room. Please be sure to like this video if you haven't liked it already. I want to jump into the Real Housewives of New York. Okay, Danielle, 2 episodes in. Wait, before we move into New York, Danielle, are you excited about a new season of Dallas?
You mean New York or Dallas?
No, Dallas. I just wanted to sum up Dallas because the reunion's over. But are you excited about a new season coming back?
As long as Dr. Tiffany Moon comes back, absolutely.
Oh, Lonnie?
I am. I'm excited. I love Dr. Tiffany Moon. I thought she brought some spice, to the cast. And interested to see if there's going to be some shakeups, who's going to be the shakeup and all of that with the new season. But I do hope that they bring a little bit more substance because the season was a little boring. Again, I'm chalking it up to COVID, but hopefully it will be a little bit more spicier when they start filming again.
Miriam, what's your final thoughts on Dallas? Are you excited about a new season happening? Do you want LeeAnne to come back?
Yes.
Oh.
Because I feel like, something, I hate when people single out and then they're hypocrites. Because what I thought of the situation of LeeAnne, I'm not condoning what she said, but the same way that they all stood silent when Brandy was putting all on Tiffany, that's kind of a sign of complicity. So silence is complicit. So the same thing they were guilty of in front of LeeAnne. It wasn't the first time that LeeAnne says that in front of them. None of them stopped LeeAnne of saying that. None of them, till one of them decided. So this is the thing. So now you guys want to single out LeeAnne and make a spectacle, bringing the chair. And then Brandy said, oh, I would have pulled the chair for myself. You know something? I feel sorry for her loss about her grandmother, about her mother-in-law. And this is where it stops, because the rest, she was never a girl's girl. She always used to gang up on LeeAnne, and she used to be successful in getting a reaction from LeeAnne. LeeAnne reacts really bad, and they used to get under her skin. I totally want LeeAnne to come back and redeem herself, show that she has changed, that she did some soul searching and education about being sometimes people they make racial slurs out of ignorance and privilege. I feel like both of them were there, and since all of the others are guilty of the same, so why only LeeAnne pays the price? Either all of you pays the price or not.
Go ahead, Danielle.
LeeAnne had an issue every single season, and every reunion she would come back and say, oh, I'm sorry, I've been praying, I've been in therapy, I've been in this, and every year we got something else from LeeAnne. It just got old, and LeeAnne's excuse was always, oh, I'm a circus baby, or whatever that title she used to get.
Carney.
Carney, yes. If every time someone tried to address LeeAnne, it was always an excuse on why she behaved the way she behaved. And the excuses just got old. And when Carrie called her out on it, LeeAnne couldn't take it anymore because she knew the excuses were BS.
And that's a perfect segue to talk about Ramona. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of New York. This is the second episode, and I want to start with Danielle. I want to know, what's your impressions of the first 2 episodes of the Real Housewives of New York? Because we didn't go live for the premiere episode.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I was not looking forward to Ebony being on the show. I was listen, hear me out. Because
you saw a reaction. Go ahead.
Listen, hear me, Miriam. I've said this before. I didn't want the diversity. I enjoy Ramona and LeeAnne with their ignorance. I enjoy, as LeeAnne says, Sonja and her Sonia. Yes, that's it. Sonia. I enjoy Sonia the most, but I just felt like New York was one of those franchises I didn't think needed diversity, and that's why I wasn't looking forward to Ebony. But now that I've seen her in these first 2 episodes, I actually enjoy Ebony. I enjoy Ebony. I think she brings. I appreciate how she sits and looks at them like, did she just say that? Did she just help? And like I can't wait for next week when she calls Ramona out. Well, I didn't appreciate when you called the help, and then of course Ramona's going to come with one of her excuses. But I'm looking forward to this. I'm so looking forward to this season. I will always say I'm going to miss Dorinda. I'm going to miss her house in the Berkshires. I'm going to miss all her decorating.
She'll be back. I definitely think Dorinda will be back as long as she hasn't burned a bridge with production. But I have to counteract your statement about diversity in New York. My problem with the New York City of the Real Housewives was that it didn't really represent the city that I know and love and grew up in. I know fabulous women of color. It doesn't even have to be a Black woman that live here in New York, that have money, that are real housewives, that are still housewives. Maybe they wouldn't be after being on the show. But look, for my entertainment, you do what you need to do. But
it's exactly what you just said. Real money doesn't want to be on the show and show it off.
Well, but even the people that don't have the real money or fall in the same realm of a Ramona or LeeAnne, they would. New York is such a melting pot. You're not telling me if they didn't try, they couldn't find the housewives to do it.
Well, Bethany said she gave Andy like a list of 30 names, remember? So it's not like
we don't know how many Black women were on that list.
Oh, I don't know. But
exactly.
I guess because I had gotten complacent with just the white women in New York, and I was okay with it. The good laughs. And I guess this is also what I'm getting from Ebony. And you guys tell me if you can relate to this. When we as Blacks go to office parties, we don't drink as much as the white people do because we don't want to be in that situation where we get over intoxicated and we start having too much fun because we know it's going to be shunned upon. And I feel like when Ebony went to the bedroom last night, instead of staying and drinking with them, that's what she was doing. She was playing the professional role and walk away instead of having too much fun because, again, we're not allowed to do that.
But it also could be, remember, Ebony has multiple jobs on TV, a podcast. She does a lot of stuff outside of this that she doesn't want, which I was actually surprised that she even did The Real Housewives of New York. Yes. Because I was like, wow, how are you going to do that and try to maintain your professional image on these other platforms?
Well, that's how she went to the bedroom instead of getting drunk with them in the backyard.
Lonnie, what are your thoughts so far on episode 1 and 2 of The Real Housewives of New York?
I like Ebony. I think, and I'm glad that they did add, so whether if it was an Indian person, a Hispanic person, African American, Asian, New York is such a melting pot. I thought it was about time to really reflect and show what New York is, because it is a plethora of a melting pot in New York of people who are of wealthy status. And in New York, it's a lot of, I'll say 9 out of 10, the circles. It's not even about race. It's all about money. Who has money? They look at money more first before race. So I'm actually glad that they did bring up like some diversity into it. And I do like, Ebony, I can't wait for her to go in on Ramona, because I cannot stand Ramona at all. I cannot stand her. She is so annoying. If she was to ever leave the show, I would not miss her whatsoever. I still am holding out hope that they will bring Tinsley back, because Tinsley is a girl after my own
give them
heart.
time. Remember her engagement was off after they finished filming.
Yeah, I'm just like, I love Tinsley. Me and her are like kindred spirits. We both want a husband. We both want a child. Like, me and her, like kindred spirits. I am just like, I am so here for Tinsley. So I would like to see her back on the show. I do miss Dorinda also, but I'm really interested to see what Ebony brings. So far, I'm really liking what she brings. I think there's going to be a lot more to come, with it. So I'm so far so good. I'm really liking, this. I do have an issue though. Oh my gosh, I can't think of her name. The one that's friends with Ebony, the blonde girl.
Leah. You see my face, right?
Yeah. I'm having like a really issue with her though, still from that first episode of her wanting to take up Judaism. Like that hit like a sore spot with me. It's just like this, that you're not Madonna, that we're not doing Kabbalah. It's not something that, when she said that she likes to do things that are a challenge, like this is a religion, it's not a challenge. So, and you really don't understand the Jewish culture or anything like that. It's like, I speak more Hebrew than you do. Okay. So it's just like, it really aggravated me, with that. So I hope that Andy brings that up during the reunion, because to me, I feel like she's just doing it because she's bored, to be honest.
I'm sure he will bring it up, and just bring it up in like a light, fun way. And it's not going to be like, I don't think he's going to challenge her on it.
I thought he was doing it to meet a man.
Or dating a man that was Jewish. It just didn't make sense.
It depends, because if the woman doesn't have any Jewish in her, then the child will not be Jewish, because the Jewish bloodline runs through the woman. So a lot of Jewish men want a Jewish woman because their child will be Jewish. But I don't know, that just really aggravated me. But I'm here for Ebony. I'm excited to see what she brings, and Andy needs to bring back Tinsley. That's all.
I definitely think Tinsley will, if she wants to come back, she will be coming back. Miriam, okay, I want to just kind of talk about what happened in this last episode. So let's talk a little bit about Ebony. Everyone's saying in the chat.
I need to talk about Ebony, like what they said now. I will be brief.
Okay, please.
I promise you. Okay. First of all, Ebony, she is stunning. I never wanted to see her on the show because she's Black. She's just fabulous and smart. And I am a sucker for that, period. Her guard is up. She doesn't wanna because she has an aim. When she went to see Leah in Central Park, she had that T-shirt with say their names. Like that gave me the chills. This woman is there doing business, doing justice to BLM without wearing the flag or saying, I'm the activist. She is the real activist. Leah, she is ignorant.
Was that Portia shade?
Of course. I inhale air and I exhale Portia shade. Leah, she is so ignorant because the Jewish religion is a matriarch one. If she's not born Jewish, they will never, ever consider her Jewish, let alone any of the kids. And I feel like she's sucking up to Andy because Andy is Jewish and he always brings, Jewish here, Jewish there, which is okay, fine. He's singing for his tribe. I won't hold him accountable for that. Tinsley and Dorinda are coming back because yesterday in Watch What Happens Live, when they asked him if Dorinda was going to come back, the guest, he said everything is possible. And Tinsley is visiting New York this week, Leah. She's visiting with Leah.
Of course she is. I want to talk a little bit more about Ebony. First of all, it seems like a lot of people like Ebony, and rightfully so. I feel like she's giving us what we need. I still wish we had an actual housewife, but I will take Ebony. But in this episode, the first episode, she revealed that she had debt to the point where she had to hide her car from being repossessed. I love that. in this episode, she talks about this Tribeca apartment, this fabulous Tribeca apartment that basically her ex-fiance bought. He's the reason why she moved to Tribeca. She wants to live in Harlem, which I hear she's moved up there. But she says she only films there. She doesn't sleep in the master bedroom. Like, what are your thoughts on that, Miriam? Would you be sleeping in the master bedroom of this beautiful apartment in the city, in the sky?
Okay, TMI. I don't live in Tribeca, obviously. I'm in the suburbs of New Jersey. But when
Because it's fancy.
Well, yeah. Well, listen, I'm not going to complain. But after I split with my husband, I was sleeping on the couch in the living room for 5 years.
Ooh.
Yes. Until I finally said, okay, I'll repaint the walls. And now I'm in the bedroom, by the way. This is the room that I least spend time with, and we don't need to dig into why. But I totally get what she's saying. When you get hurt, and obviously she still holds him dear, and she's hurt because she feels like he chose his family over her.
I love how she talks about it, though. She's very respectful in how she describes what went down between them.
Because she still loves him.
You think she still loves him?
Yeah,
I mean,
she's not over him. Yes, I don't think she's over him, but she is so much brains that she knows that it wasn't gonna go anywhere because COVID exposed that their interests are different and his heart was where his kids are, and that hurt her because she was alone in that apartment. So he did. It seems like he really dropped her. So I totally get what she's saying, and she doesn't need that apartment. If she needed the apartment to come up, I would understand, and I won't say, oh, shame on you, Ebony, because so many women did that. But the fact that she doesn't need it and she's choosing not to sell herself short speaks volumes about her character. I hope she doesn't disappoint me. It's been a while that I don't feel like that for a housewife. Seriously. I know Kenya's shady. I defend her because I feel like she was under attack all the time, but it's not the same. Ebony, I really feel like she is a good, fabulous, smart, successful person. And she's real.
Danielle, I want to ask you your thoughts on Señorita and her crystal healing visit and her crying over the Morgan estate still.
Oh my God, Sonia is not going to get over this ever. Sonia recognizes that she was living the life of luxury and she no longer has that life of luxury. And she even said it. And it's so funny because every deal or every business venture she's ever tried has gone bad. And then it's unfortunate that I thought the Century 21 thing was going to take off for her. But
she did too.
Yeah, none of us expected COVID. So I get that. And I feel sorry for her about that one. But the microwave cookbook or the toaster oven cookbook and everything else, I feel bad for Sonia because she needs help. She does.
How many people try to help Sonia in business? Bethany, Heather, coming back this season.
I'm not talking about business help. Sonia has to internally fix Sonia first.
That's why she got the crystal lady.
But she needs more than that. She needs the crystal lady. She needs Jesus. She needs therapy. She needs a shaman. She needs to jump rope outside. She needs a whole lot. I don't know.
She needs to get away from Ramona.
Oh, God.
But wait, I want to say something about Ebony that I saw in people's comments on Instagram when she did the interview with Wendy talking about her feeling some type of way that he chose to spend time with the kids.
Yes.
If you're a Christian, the Bible has things in order, and the order is supposed to be God, you, your spouse, then your children. And I've gotten into so many verbal arguments about the order, and people don't realize when you have that order in your household, when you put your spouse before your children, so many things are better.
Mm-hmm.
in your household. And I feel people were like condemning her for saying he put his kids before me. Well, he's not supposed to. She's absolutely right for leaving. That was a sign. The fact that he was putting his almost, I think she said one of them was like adult age and the other was like a teenager. He's putting his grown children before you is a problem. That shows you how it's going to be later on. So the fact that she left, and that's if she's a Christian. And I don't know what she is, but if she is, she did the right thing by leaving because he was not putting her first and he was supposed to. Not saying not spend time with your kids, but there's an order and your spouse is supposed to come before your children.
And even if there wasn't necessarily an order, the fact that he went and quarantined with them, it was like, I'm supposed to be your wife? You're going to quarantine with your children that are nearly grown?
And we're supposed to be practicing making babies during quarantine, and you gonna go spend time with the churns? No, sir.
But you know what? And that's the thing that I love about Ebony. Even the way that she broke it down and explained it, it made so much sense in such a way that, like, wow, this girl is not just beautiful and talented. She's very, very self-aware. Look, dead silence. Okay.
She's honest.
Ebony, I want to focus on our girl Sonia. In the upcoming episode, we're going to see a whole Wells Fargo versus JP Morgan Chase situation. Lonnie, what were your thoughts on the whole Crystal situation?
First of all, Wells Fargo's like, what the hell do we got to do with this?
I can't wait for this scene. I can't wait. Lonnie is so tickled by this.
Wait, I just laughed at that.
It's true. I cannot wait for the scene because you know it's going to be an epic Housewives. This is why we love New York. This is why we need people like Sonia. We need people like Ramona. We need people like LeeAnne because they say the most craziest thing that becomes Bravo history.
But she literally had a major breakdown at the dinner table, though. I mean, it's just like, I feel bad for Sonia.
Lonnie's still laughing at Sonia Rita.
Like, you know that when Ramona was screaming, take a Xanax, I think Sonia needs that and a whole lot more.
Oh my God.
And I feel bad because she's just not over it. And I feel like, this is my theory, is that I think that this is hitting her, the whole her not being in the Morgan family anymore is because all of these things failed for her.
You were still laughing at pointing Sonia. I'm going to defend Sonia. I agree with her about you should support the family, JP Morgan Chase, even though it's the rich people's bank. Sonia, they don't have the greatest rates. Just
no,
saying.
They don't. And they're always laying people off.
Oh, damn. Okay, I want to move on because
I want to say something.
Miriam, I would like to move on. Remember who the moderator is here.
I know. What the hell is this?
We're going to move on. As I said before, everyone in the chat that's watching, be sure to like this video if you haven't liked it already. For more information on social media and other videos that we've done in regards to reality TV recaps, be sure to check out the description of this video. Let's move on to the Hamptons. The Hamptons. So Leah decides that she wants to do a whole Burning Man theme. Not sure who paid for this Burning Man theme in Ramona's backyard. Ramona, that's where Ramona says the help comment that is very triggering to Ebony. What is your thoughts on that, Miriam?
My thought is that Ramona is an ignorant, white, privileged, borderline racist person. Period. End of story. How many times do we need to see her treat those less fortunate in a derogatory way? This is privilege. And for her not to be aware that Ebony is Black, so this is a trigger. Like, she professes herself to be so smart. She is socially ignorant. She, and the reason that she has money doesn't imply that, it doesn't mean that she is smart in any way. Like, it was, this is why I'm like, I feel like the age, I'm not being an ageist here because I am not young, but I feel like the vibe is so different when it comes from the youngest housewives to the oldest ones. They need to make a better blend. And New York started. New York is the best, is my favorite franchise because it really was the same social circle, and they created and developed friendships, real friendships. Luan today, till this day, she's friends with Jill, which is amazing, even though Jill is not on the show. But now they are doing to New York what they are doing to the other franchises. So this is why I'm hoping Tinsley comes, because Tinsley, she has a relationship with Leah. Unfortunately, Leah is going nowhere, Kempire. Here to break you the news. She came to stay. She's intoxicated with, like, everybody got to like say, yo, she's crazy. She's always naked. She's this, she's that. She will get a reality
care about
check
that because
soon.
hello, Sonya's been naked all the time. Bethany was naked all the time. I don't mind that, but it felt real. It felt authentic.
Yeah,
It doesn't
that's
feel
what I
that way
wanted to tell you.
with Leah.
I feel like Leah is forcing. She's forcing to get. She is the one that forces reaction from everybody. And yesterday, Ramona, the only intelligent thing that she did was to dress up the way she did, because she disarmed Leah. Leah went there thinking, oh, Ramona is going to try to be prude and she's going to have something to say about my outfit. And Ramona checkmates her with even a more revealing, and Ramona looked better than Leah. I liked Ramona's outfit more.
Oh,
I said that.
Danielle, what were your thoughts on the Burning Man theme party in Ramona's backyard? Well, no, backtracking. What were your thoughts on the whole help comment? Were you triggered?
Yeah, but not defending Ramona. That's what we expect, but that's what we expect. Every season, she gives us some kind of ignorant comment or ignorant moment like that. And I just think for EBONI, I don't know if she's watched previous seasons, but it triggered her because she wasn't used to it. I'm not saying that Ramona did it, but it's between Ramona and LeeAnne, I expect something like that to come out of their mouth.
Well, she said, EBONI has said that she has watched previous seasons. Not sure she watched a chapter and verse, but she has watched previous seasons.
Yeah, so that, I think the part that pissed me off more is next, or what's going to piss me off is next when EBONI addresses her and Ramona tries to justify it as trying to be like, you know what, you're right, I shouldn't. But one thing, if you think about Ramona from season 1 and where she is now, Ramona's new money. She's not even old. So I feel like she does that. She says things like that because she wants to be this uppity rich person. But chick, you new money. You're not even like that for real. Like, that's the part that irritates me about Ramona. And then she's like, oh, well, I'm just this. And I'm just, no, sit your monkey looking behind down somewhere. You're not. She's not that great. Ramona's never been one of my favorites.
Say, Jay, what were your thoughts on this latest episode of The Real Housewives of New York?
I think that 5 Housewives doesn't work on any franchise.
And what do you mean? Do they need more?
They need more. Honestly, I know like everyone kind of like talks down on that season where it was 8 of them, but like I think it worked better. It worked a lot better for them than 5. Like, I felt like if they were going to do 5, they needed all the friends all the way through. Like, they needed everybody else all the way through. Because I'm kind of ran to my thin with Ramona, LeeAnne, and Sonia. So I'm like looking, Leah's not really giving me luxury like I want from a housewife.
Ooh,
and
you don't like her little latex little money thing suit that she wears in her confessional?
And I'm younger than Leah, and I wouldn't do something like that.
Leah is tacky.
Yeah. I'm like, Leah, like, and then it's not cute. And
you saw the big red post she came in, the very first scene?
Yeah, like, it's just all.
I
know she's trying to be like that young, round the way. She's trying to be like that young, round the way, modern, chic New York chick, but she doesn't give that.
Nope.
And she needs to, she needs a little fine tuning.
What about the help comment that Ramona made in the Hamptons?
So I think that Ramona is I can't say she's ignorant at this point because people do correct her, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, she's stuck in that way, which is so odd to continue to watch on TV. I'm like, at this point, girl, like, even if that's how you feel, at this point of being on a show for 13 seasons, you know you can't say that on camera.
Like, that's what we love about Ramona. She's one of the people that gives us what we want, reality, and that's what came out.
I mean, yes,
like
I like a out of touch with reality housewife. I do. I do. It's the same reason why there's some other housewives that everybody hates. I'm like, oh, well, I mean, I like how she's so kooky. It's good for the show. But Ramona, I don't think she should have made the comment. And I think that when Ebony checks her on it, I think that that's appropriate because it's not something, it is triggering for a lot of people. And I've been around diverse groups and I've seen behavior like what Ramona exhibits. And it honestly does make you go, like, it makes you like, whoa, what the heck is going on here? Like, the help.
One thing I'll say, I wasn't necessarily triggered by it, and I hope that we're not constantly addressing race throughout the entire season, just because I do want to kind of get to the whole fun of what we love about New York, and we did get a little bit of that in this particular episode.
And that's why, like, Ebony being there, like, I like that Ebony's there and I like what she brings, but from even the first episode, I feel like she's giving us, it's turning into a very like race-based dynamic for me, and I don't want the whole season to go there.
Yeah. But you know what? Maybe it has to take it for this very first season to get everyone comfortable with each other, and then maybe next season it will be even more fun. But I want to ask Lonnie. Lonnie, what were your thoughts on the Burning Man situation that they had in Ramona's backyard? Would you go to that?
I have gone to raves, so I'm one of those people that will be like topless or something. So
you're learning a lot tonight.
So I mean, I thought it was like a really cool like theme, event. I liked it. I wish I was there. I probably would have had the party turned up a little bit more. Yeah, but the help comment, I mean, I wasn't like triggered by it and stuff because in regard to that, but I can see how saying that, and it flowed very easily off of her tongue, but off of Ramona's tongue. But I mean, I wasn't like triggered by it. I can see her like probably saying, well, the servers or the something else or whatnot, but I mean, I wasn't really that triggered by it. I didn't think of it as anything when she said it, but I can totally understand and how Ebony felt like triggered by that and stuff like that, with that word. But I hope it doesn't become a season where Ebony's constantly defending race or explaining race and stuff like that, because then it just turns into a race situation like every single season. I'm not interested in watching that.
Okay, Miriam?
Yeah, I have a question. What is the difference between LeeAnne always getting herself in trouble because of things she say and treats people, and Ramona, who always, this is not the first time, I lost count of how she treats less privileged people or the help. Remember when they were in Cartagena? Remember Mexico? Like she always, so what's the difference? This is where I have a problem, and this is why I put in my comments, make it nice, bravo. They target housewives and franchises. They don't treat them all along. I feel like New York is held dear to Andy's heart, and this is why we still have Ramona and LeeAnne. Sonia. She deserves to be there, but I just wish she would get over the Morgan thing. And being out of touch is different than being like out of now people with racial connotations like that, like Ramona's, they really did not do the work out of what, laziness or privilege. Like everybody knows you don't call help, especially when you have a Black person new to the group. It's kind of like, I think she did that on purpose to get the reaction from
I don't think so. I honestly don't think Ramona did it on purpose. I think Ramona, ignorant as she is, just did it because that's what she would normally say, no matter who was in the room.
But what's the
I want to
difference?
move on though. I want to talk a little bit about oh my gosh, what else happened in this? Oh, the I don't know, the healer. St. J, what did you think about the healing moment? Ramona was not here for it, but by the end of it, she was healed.
I like when they bring in those different types of people onto the shows. I really liked it. I was like, it made me, I was like, dang, I need to go find a healer in Virginia.
Yeah, you sure do. This will be the same way that Sonia was getting the crystals all over. I said, this is going to be me when I'm Sonia's age. I'm going to be in a townhouse uptown. And
how old is Sonia?
What?
How old is Sonia?
Sonia must be like, oh my God, 50 something?
Are Sonia, LeeAnne, and Ramona all 60?
Are they
I
all?
think they're all in their 60s, like very early 60s.
Well, she got a good face of Sonia. But like I said, that would be me when I'm 60. Look, I got a good few decades to go. That will be me. Just saying. So I love the fact that they added this whole element of of telling their story, of healing, but okay, can we talk again about Leah and her fake phony self? The whole screaming. Look, I don't want to look. Her grandmother was dying. I'm not sure if her grandmother has died since this, but the whole screaming. I was like, really, girl? And then they kept on screaming. What do you think, St. J? I interrupted you.
Leah is very confusing to me because, like, she asked for that raise. They gave her that raise, and we're 2 episodes in, and I'm like, girl, what did you contribute? Like, dang, they gave you a raise, and you just were like, oh, okay, time to do nothing.
See, look, Rob did the research for me. I knew Sonia wasn't 60 yet because we would have had a big party on the show. 57.
5 and above, give it a shove.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Danielle.
Why is everyone against what's her name?
Leah.
Leah. Why is everyone against her so much?
Oh, no. Let me clarify. I'm not against Leah. Okay. I actually like Leah for the show. I don't think Leah fits in well with the age dynamics on the show.
Okay.
She would have fit in well if she was hanging out with me.
Oh,
Kempire, you don't drink. So, I mean, neither does Leah, but
neither does she.
Neither does Leah,
exactly,
but you know.
Does she. And I'm 1% Ashkenazi Jew. I'm just saying.
Oh, child. Okay.
I did my 23
so you tell me why are you so against Leah?
Okay, I've said this multiple times, but I'm willing to say it again. Leah, to me, especially because I'm from New York, born and raised here in New York City, and I know amazing women of all different colors and backgrounds and money levels. I am not convinced by what Leah's giving us on this show. The same way that we've gravitated towards EBONI, and I've already had my nose up at EBONI before she came on. I was like, what you gonna bring, girl? What you gonna bring? And I was like, okay, I like what she's bringing. She's bringing what exactly I wanted. I'm not getting fake from EBONI. I'm getting fake and force from Leah McSweeney. And it's first season, she gave me that fake and force. And now this season, I kept on saying, I'm going to keep an open mind. I'm going to keep it, because I didn't love Tinsley in the beginning, but I knew who Tinsley was. Tinsley's real money. Tinsley's authentically who we see, unfortunately. Yes. But I don't get that from Leah. Leah, to me, is so fake. And I'm just like, why? People really think this is what New York is. And Leah is not New York.
Not at all.
I never thought that Leah was New York. I never... so I've known who Tinsley was before she even had that show on MTV. I've known Tinsley Mortimer for years.
Yes.
And to me, she's true New York.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when Bethany first started the show, Bethany didn't give me real New York to me.
No.
And
but she gave me authentic.
She gave me authentic, but I recognized Bethany from when she was on the Martha Stewart reality show.
Yes.
So that's where I recognize Bethany from. But I guess for me with Leah, I guess I feel sorry for her. So she kind of has like a little soft place in my heart.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted it to work for her. I think she's the biggest bama because that money print pink latex outfit crap she had on yesterday was horrible.
It was on the first episode too.
Oh my goodness. She should not have worn that in her confessionals.
That is from her, what is it?
Clothing line. Mad Balls or something.
Married to the Mob.
Married to the Mob.
Married to the Mob.
She's had for like over a decade. And I'm like, girl, you actually, that's your business? You're making money off of that?
But nobody never heard of it until she came on the show. I had never heard of it.
Me either.
I did.
You did?
Yeah, and because she came to Patty Stanger's like million.
That's why.
That's why I know. And I liked Leah to a point. When I felt like she was playing, she had the double face actually. Like Cameron, listen to me. Leah is an example of Leah is an example of double face because even the way she became friends with Dorinda, when Dorinda was so much gunning for Tinsley, this is when I had like, girl, Tinsley brought you, or at least she's the one who was assigned to become friends with you before the show started, and you both have a chemistry there. I'm not saying that Tinsley and Leah's friendship is not real, but it is. I like.
I mean, they're still friends, even when
they're
she's not on the show.
Still today. But when she was able to become friends with Dorinda, this is where I started sensing that she's very opportunistic and she's calculated. And then I just gave up. I rarely follow housewives, believe it or not. I don't follow a lot of housewives on my Instagram. But Leah, oh my God, every breath she's promoting something. So she's making a lot of money off of housewives. I don't know if Bravo is taking some of that check.
That's like, usually in their contracts.
I'm like, girl, enough already. And she already moved. Like it seems like she's moving up. Like she's a hustler. Let's give that to her. I just wish she wouldn't force because she doesn't need, because she's smart. She has the smart things to say. And I like when she checks Ramona. But
I love when people say this because I believe, I forgot who said this last night. Watching paint dry is better than Leah. Agreed. Let's sum this up.
Real quick though.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Lonnie.
So with Leah, I do feel like she is holding back, and I mean her fashions is, I have to agree, is off. I mean, to be honest, she didn't even get Burning Man right. You know, the outfit for that, like that's not what people wear to Burning Man. So I'm like, where's the face paint? Where's the glitter? Where's the LED little lights that you wear around your neck and stuff? Like, where's the furry boots? Like all of that. She didn't even get that right. I thought she was going to more of a dominatrix kind of thing.
Yeah, she has no idea.
She has like no idea. And I don't know if she's just trying to, maybe she watched old episodes of Sex and the City where she thought she could pull something quirky together like Carrie used to.
Oh, you're right.
And make it work. And I'm just like, but that's not working. You're not. Yeah, I'm just like, it's not working though. Like, don't. Is
that what she's trying to do with the whole Jewish thing now? She's trying to pull a Charlotte, but she's got to get a husband first.
Yes, and Charlotte actually went to classes, and I mean, she did the real conversion, but she does hold back, and I think that she's just really trying to make an imprint on the show so badly, so she can hold her spot, that it's getting lost. That her own, the person who she actually is getting lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
And I think if she just was her organic self and let people see her organic self and not pressuring so much to leave an imprint, I think that people would actually really start liking Leah and allowing us to see who she is through the screen.
I agree. And that's what I was hoping for in this new season, but that's not what we're getting. I just want to sum all of this up. Next week's episode looks like it's going to be interesting. I cannot wait for the Wells Fargo versus JP Morgan Chase situation. We have about 40 people in the room. Like this video if you haven't liked it already. If you're not subscribed, why not? Hello. We have breaking news all the time, and we go live all the time. We do have more Portia news we probably will discuss later on this week, so make sure you're subscribed. I want us to go around the room and get some final thoughts on the first 2 episodes of The Real Housewives of New York. I'm going to start with Danielle, and please make it quick, people.
This whole make it quick disclaimer is killing me. I'm cracking up laughing.
I'm just saying, look.
I think New York is going to give us a lot more to talk about each week, and I'm looking forward to it. quick. Boom, got it.
Love it. Lonnie?
Just, I want to say, poor Wells Fargo. They did not want to be pulled into this situation with Sonia's breakdown. And I will probably be laughing so hard I'm going to cry. But I'm really excited for New York. I'm really liking what Ebony has brought to the table so far. We haven't even seen, I think, the best of what she's going to bring. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited about how this whole dynamic is going to evolve with her being the new castmate. I'm not expecting much from Leah. I'm expecting all types of breakdown from Sonia, so that will be quite entertaining. And LeeAnne, she's just always funny to watch. Ramona, I hope that her last season's coming up soon.
Agreed. Make it nice, Bravo. Last minute thoughts on the first 2 episodes of The Real Housewives of New York?
Where did you take my Danielle? I wanted to tell her, I hope we're real friends. I've been talking to her every day.
That was like 30 minutes ago. Now you're responding to that.
Yeah, but like, you know, I'm all about real friends. Listen, the Wells Fargo JP Morgan showdown is going to be the iconic moment of this season. I already know. Like, it's gonna be that, and then we're gonna have a little bit funny here and there, but that's the crescendo, I think. And I'm afraid it's peaking like very early, and that's not a good thing. You know what I mean? But like, we have a lot of other news. Like, I thought we were gonna like at least touch a little bit about like that Simon is broke. Did you hear that?
Oh God. Thank you. Have a fantastic night. And last but not least, St. J, final thoughts on the first 2 episodes of The Real Housewives of New York. Or if you wanted to weigh in on The Real Housewives of Dallas. I know you weren't able to share your thoughts on that.
Okay, Dallas. I hope they get another season.
Oh, and that's it?
That's all I got for Dallas. New York. Ramona, LeeAnne, Sonia all got to go. Either Ramona, LeeAnne, and Sonia all have to go, or everyone else has to go, and it has to be all. I need the cast to make sense that they would hang out.
And that's what it used to do.
Yeah, like it used, and that's the problem I have with watching the new shows. Watching the later seasons, is that watching New York, it made sense seeing them all hang out. Even if they weren't all friends already, it made sense seeing them all hang out. Now I'm like, I don't know why Leah would be hanging out with Ramona. Like, I just don't. Like, that's weird. Like, if I was Leah, I wouldn't be going to the club with Ramona. If I was Ramona, I wouldn't be going to my country club with Leah. So I need it to start making sense, and it's not making sense. And I feel like it's easier to just get rid of Ramona, LeeAnne, and Sonia because they have no story left.
Damn. I cannot agree with that at all. But go ahead.
I'm Team Heather, so I really want to Heather all season. So that was I was wishing on that star, and I guess I missed that wish.
Well, Heather will be making an appearance, and it seems as if there's already some sort of beef between her and Leah because of what Heather said about LeeAnne on a podcast.
I listened.
You listened to it? Thoughts?
Yeah. It was the podcast with Carol, Heather's podcast with Carol, and essentially she was talking about that season with the pirates and the lucid drug use, I think is the best way to put it.
I need to listen to that because I didn't want to share an opinion because I was like, did you really say that LeeAnne was on drugs?
Yeah, she said they were doing
she said, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. So I want Heather back. I know she's only on the show to get more famous, but like, I think that coming back, I don't know, several seasons later, you have to expect the show to be different. But I guess it's not happening, so just get rid of the other 3 and bring Tinsley back, and let's try to do something.
I'm still Team Heather because anytime it's against Leah, I can't even defend Leah because based on Heather's statement about the season, I have to say the way she described Leah is exactly the way I described Leah.
Now, here's what I would say, and this is my last point. We're getting to a point, and I think I've said this on here before, where when you're bringing these younger women onto reality TV, they've at this point had years of experience watching reality TV. So they're coming in with it's not like when Ramona and LeeAnne came on the show and they didn't really know how reality TV worked. It was new to them.
Yeah.
You're having people like Leah and other younger people coming on the show who've had time to watch the show, so they know how to, or they have an idea of what's going to make good reality TV.
No.
And they stick to that idea.
Yeah. Reality TV is not reality TV anymore.
It's still better than OC. That's all. Oh. Thanks so much for having me, Kempire.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you haven't liked this video already, be sure to like it. Here are my final thoughts on both the Real Housewives of Dallas reunion and the Real Housewives of New York. I am going to give Dallas another season. I initially wrote Dallas off after this season, but if Dr. Tiffany Moon comes back, I am here for it. I am definitely here for it. They have to do some shakeups. I hope Randy doesn't come back. This whole feeling sorry for herself the entire season when she's the one who did something wrong, I'm over it. I hope she does not come back. I think she's fake and a fraud. But the reunion part 1 and part 2 were very interesting, and I think Deandra and Mama D carried the season on their backs. The Real Housewives of New York, you already know, it's one of my favorites. Let me know in the chat if you would like for me to do a weekly live recapping New York, because Dallas is over, and I want to know if we should do a weekly recap live where you can call in and share your thoughts. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat if that's what you want to see. And just a reminder, don't forget, we did a Real Housewives of Dallas tarot read with one of my great friends, Fem Tarot. We'll be posting a link in the description, or you can just head on over to my YouTube channel and check it out there. It's very revealing. Some of the things I didn't expect the tarot cards to reveal were revealed about certain relationships, Stephanie's relationship, about Deandra's real relationship with her biological father. There's a lot that unfolds, and that's why I love it. Fem Tarot is the business. I know some of you are like, oh, I don't know. There's a lot of fake and phony people out there. No, some of the things that we've done in regards to her Walk of Fame on her YouTube channel have come true. Some of the Nene predictions, some of the Portia predictions. Oh, just saying, go check those out if you haven't already. I'm excited for the new season of The Real Housewives of New York. Again, everyone in the chat, I appreciate. Shout out to all my moderators. Shout out to everyone that called in. Shout out to everyone that was being a part of the show in the comments. I appreciate you guys. Can't do the show without you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, don't forget to like this video. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe so you don't miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. A lot more is coming. Don't forget a new episode of my podcast. Kempire Radio will be out on Friday. And that's where we talk real. Because, you know, community guidelines between TikTok and Google. Subscribe to the podcast, y'all. And guess what? I'm on Cameo now. So if you want a birthday shout out, anniversary shout out, or you want to get exclusive tea, you want to chat with me exclusively, join me on Cameo. I have officially joined. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you guys probably Friday for a live. But you'll definitely see content here on the channel because, you know, we're posting hot topics every single day. Thanks, guys, so much for tuning in. I'm going to go watch The Real Housewives of New Jersey and expect a recap tomorrow. Night.